Ever wish you had Denzel Washington, like, in your corner giving you a pep talk? Well, today we're kind of getting that. We're diving deep into one of his speeches, one that's all about risk, failure, really living.
And it's amazing how no matter who you are, what you do, something in this speech, it just hits home.
Right. So we're tackling his commencement address, Dillard University. Don't worry, no exams here. We're just unpacking his wisdom, figuring out how it applies to us, wherever we're at in life.
He dives right in with this fall forward idea. And it's deeper than it sounds, don't you think?
Oh, totally. He makes you rethink failure entirely.
Exactly. He even points out, like, the word fail, it's not even in the Bible. It's about realizing setbacks happen, but they don't define us.
Like that puzzle, the 9 dots.
Yeah.
You got to connect them without lifting your pen.
Yeah. Seems impossible, right? Until you realize you got to think outside the box, literally.
Go beyond the limits, those dots. That's what Denzel's saying. We got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, challenge what we think we know.
Color outside the lines. And he tells this story about Reggie Jackson, the baseball legend.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Reggie Jackson. Home runs, but also...
Most strikeouts ever. 2,600 of them.
But we remember the home runs, right? Shows how we focus on the wins. But those wins, built on tons of, well, not wins.
It's all about perspective. Are we dwelling on the strikeouts in our own lives? Or are we looking for those home runs? What defines success for us, really?
Makes me think, how many times have I quit something new after one tiny setback? Like learning something, you stumble at first, and it's so easy to just give up.
We've all been there. But Denzel's saying, hey, those failures, they're course corrections, not the end of the road.
He tells this story from his own life, early acting days. He goes to this Broadway audition right now. Perfect role, he thinks. Except...
couldn't sing, like, at all.
not a single note. You'd think, okay, maybe acting's not for me.
But not Denzel. That just fueled his fire. Audition after audition, rejection after rejection.
What kept him going, this saying? You hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. Persistence, showing up even when it's tough, that's what pays off.
He didn't let those setbacks define him. They refined him.
But it wasn't just about, like, clocking in, right? He used those rejections, those no's, to figure things out.
Oh, absolutely. That barbershop thing, it's not passive. It's about learning, honing your skills, failing, trying again. You know the drill.
And honestly, how often do we quit? Right before things click. It's like...
worst time.
Oh.
Right when you're about to break through. Denzel's story, it's like push through the doubt, the plateaus, because that's when the magic happens.
Speaking of magic, this next part of the speech, wow. He asks everyone to imagine themselves on their deathbeds.
Kind of morbid, but man,
I mean,
powerful. Like your life is flashing before your eyes and around your bed.
Ghosts.
But not just any ghosts, right?
These are the ghosts of what could have been. All the what-ifs, the should-haves, dreams you didn't chase, chances you didn't take.
Gives you chills, right?
Seriously.
Right.
And it's not even failing that's scary. It's more like living with the fact that you never even tried.
I think that's what hits so hard. It's not about pressure from others. It's about being honest with yourself, about the life you want to live. Every day, those choices matter.
Yeah, like, what are you most afraid of regretting when it's all said and done? Is it that business idea, that creative spark you ignored, that relationship?
And those ghosts, they're like a symbol of what we could be, good and bad. It's a choice, you know? Which ghosts are we going to face at the end?
We have more control than we think. But then Denzel, he throws a curveball. He gets real about his own struggles back in college.
And this is Denzel Washington, right?
Mr. Academy Award winner himself. Turns out he wasn't always, Denzel. He jokes about barely scraping by, 1.8 GPA.
He was pre-med. Can you imagine?
Denzel Washington, MD Wild.
He said he couldn't even pronounce the class names, let alone pass them. Shows you, even the people we put on a pedestal, they've had their doubts, their struggles.
Makes you feel less alone, right? Like failures, detours, they happen to everyone. And sometimes those detours, they lead to something amazing.
Exactly. Like with his mom's beauty shop, remember that story? He's helping her out, totally lost about his future, at a low point.
I can practically hear those hair dryers, smell the hairspray.
Yeah.
Young Denzel, unsure of everything. And then this woman walks in, right? And she gets this look, like she sees something in him nobody else does.
Fate stepped into that salon, man.
And she tells him straight up, young boy, I have a prophecy. You're going to travel the world and speak to millions of people. I mean, come on, at that point in your life, wouldn't that just floor you?
Totally. And he could have just been like, yeah, right, lady, and gone back to sweeping up hair. But something about it stuck with him.
Prophecy or not, it makes you think, how often do we ignore Those little nudges, those signs, because we're too busy doubting ourselves.
We're so stuck in our own heads sometimes. But that open-mindedness, that willingness to listen to something deeper, that's powerful stuff.
It's like logic probably said, Denzel, your pre-meds, stick with it. But he listened to something else, took a risk. And, well, now he's Denzel Washington.
And that's the perfect setup for his final message. It's a question, what are you going to do with what you have? And it's not about money or possessions, right?
No way. It's about everything we've got.
Mm.
Talents, time, experiences, even the stuff that felt like failure back then. Maybe it was all leading to something bigger.
Own your potential, right? No matter what it looks like to other people, step into the arena, ready to fall, get back up, learn, and just become who you're meant to be.
This whole speech, it's like a masterclass in resilience. Forget the straight line to success. It's messy, unpredictable, full of those fall-forward moments.
And those moments, those choices to get back up, that's what shapes us. That's our story.
So this week, think about it. What are your ghosts of could have been lurking around? What can you do, like right now, to make sure they stay ghosts? What's one step, even a small one, towards embracing the fall and coming back stronger? That's what Denzel would do.